When you win a national championship, you actually lose a lot. You lose a lot. Think about it like the Avengers, the scene in the Avengers where Thanos has to throw his daughter off a cliff to complete his jeweled Michael Jackson Thanos glove. Winning has a heavy cost. Former Ohio State offensive coordinator Chip Kelly is going to the Raiders, and that's after Ohio State's defensive coordinator Jim Knowles took a pay raise to go against their big rival in Penn State. And they've lost other coaches. Like, they're trying to rebuild this roster. They've lost players. It costs a lot. Notre Dame, who played in the national championship, they lost their defensive coordinator, Al Golden, to the Cincinnati Bengals. And last year, both national championship participants, Washington and Michigan, both lost their head coaches. Kalen DeBoer ended up at Alabama. Jim Harbaugh went over to the Chargers. And then you got Kalen DeBoer, who ended up losing his offensive coordinator to the Seahawks, but now he's got him back after a failed experiment there. But now he's back home with Kalen DeBoer, this time just at Alabama. Look at the year before. Georgia's national championship run cost them Todd Monken, their offensive coordinator, to the Ravens. And the year before that, they lost Dan Lanning to Oregon. And then Alabama actually hung on to Pete Golding that same year, but then Charles Kelly and Bill O'Brien, well, they held on to them after losing the 2021 Natty, but only for one more year. And you had O'Brien, who only had that job because after Alabama won it all in 2020, they lost Steve Sarkisian to Texas. And then LSU in 2019, they lost their defensive coordinator, Dave Aranda, to Baylor. In addition to, they lost Joe Brady. They lost a bunch of people off that staff as well. Winning comes at a cost. And Clemson, let's look at Clemson with Dabo Swinney. They literally have not been the same since losing Jeff Scott and Tony Elliott in back-to-back seasons. They went to 6 straight CFP semifinals, made 4 national championships, won 2, and in the time since losing both of those guys, they haven't been back to a semifinal since. And the last team to make a repeat visit to the Natty after losing their offensive coordinator is 2017 Alabama, with Brian Dable, who then replaced Lane Kiffin after they lost in the 2016, and then they immediately lost him to the Buffalo Bills. So yes, Ohio State, who's lost so much, they need to prepare for a dip and not blame it on Ryan Day, because it happens to everybody. To the victor go the spoils, but also to the victors go the pillaging. Because you don't get to keep everything for a long time. It just don't work that way. Because if you win, those names are going to be hot. Those names are hot. They're looking for opportunities. They want to be in the same position as Ryan Day. They want to have that $80 million guaranteed contract. They want the $100 million contract. They want the $50 million contract, and you would too. Just saying. I mean, we were looking at the contract that Jim Knowles, 3 years, $9.3 million over there at Penn State to be their defensive coordinator. Ryan Day makes more than that in one single year. And that's 3 years of his contract. So yes, they want to be in charge. They want to be the man, and it's 100% understandable.